I just wanted some story to read to my kids at night, and I just could not find anything. I couldn't find anything that really, suited them or helped them find comfort and peace. And so, I was like, let's just write one.
That is Corey Richens, the Utah mom of 3 accused of fatally poisoning her husband with a fentanyl-laced Moscow Mule, then writing a children's book about grief, and then promoting it on TV. And just when you thought things couldn't get worse for her case, or maybe even more shocking, well, this might not have been the first time she allegedly drugged her husband, Eric. No. Richens is now facing 10 new charges, including attempted murder. You see, 2 years ago, on Valentine's Day, no less, Eric told a close friend that he nearly died after his wife bought him a sandwich from a diner for lunch. This is according to new charging documents. And he said he had to use his son's EpiPen and drink a bottle of Benadryl after breaking out in hives from just one bite. Telling one witness, "You almost lost me," and another witness, "I think my wife tried to poison me." Now, the new documents state that opioids, including fentanyl, can cause allergic and pseudo-allergic reactions to include hives. Prosecutors revealed that Richens allegedly bought illicit fentanyl days before Valentine's Day, as well as days before Eric's death, which was less than a month later. And on the night of his death, Richens and her supposed lover, yes, prosecutors claim she was having an affair, allegedly texted each other, "Love you." New charges also include insurance fraud, mortgage fraud, forgery, but still, Richens maintains their innocence. Back with me, criminal defense attorney Bernardo, Alona, trial attorney Misty Marris, and News Nation senior national correspondent Brian Entin. Misty, how do you defend this case at this point? I'm sorry, I know she isn't proven guilty, but my gosh, I mean, what's going on here?
All right, well, so now we have all of these new charges, and I expect that one of the reasons prosecutors wanted to bring these charges in is because obviously it shows this pattern. And maybe they were concerned that they wouldn't be able to get that in without actual charges because there's hearsay issues. This is coming from a friend. It's what someone who's now deceased had told them. So I think this was a legal strategy on the part of the prosecution to build this even further, even all the suspicious activity, especially with respect to the finances, that part, you're taking out life insurance policies, the affair, all of that. But now this prior attempt that really helps set the stage for them on the murder charges.
I didn't mention it in the intro, but I think I have to mention it now. The Lisa Darden aspect to this. Can we talk about that for a second? This is Corey Richens' mother, who we have learned new details about. So in a recently released warrant, this is number 4, if we could put this up. This is, again, Corey Richens' mom. It was discovered that in 2006, Richens' mother, Lisa Darden, was living with an adult female with whom she was having a romantic relationship. In April of that year, her romantic partner died unexpectedly. Now let's go to number 5, if we can. This is also part of the search warrant. Based on Lisa Darden's proximity to her parents' suspicious overdose death, partner's suspicious overdose death, and her relationship with Corey, it is possible she was involved in planning and orchestrating Eric's death. Now, she hasn't been charged, Brian. What did you make of that development?
I mean, oh my gosh. So there could be even more twists and turns to this, and the family could be involved. It's crazy. The fact that it was Valentine's Day, first of all, that she had tried it before was shocking, that she asked the housekeeper for stronger fentanyl when it didn't work well the first time. And that I just think about this poor husband that he used, I think it was the daughter's EpiPen.
Yeah.
And after she had put allegedly the drugs in a sandwich.
Yeah.
And he thinks he's having some kind of allergic reaction.
But now with the mom, by the way, is that going to come into this trial at all? Unless she's charged, can the jury hear about Lisa Darden?
No, they're not going to hear about her unless they can find a direct link between Corey Richens and what happened having to deal with Lisa. It's not going to come in. It's just too prejudicial and just too far-fetched for the relevant charges that she's charged with. So we're not going to see that. But the question is this information poisoning the jury pool? Because all of this information, people are hearing this. So it's possible that the jury pool is going to be well aware of all this criminal acts.
Well, it's a very high-profile case there. But Misty, one thing we didn't mention also are the internet searches. This is number 8. This is let's put that up there. So this is what she was allegedly searching as well. Let me highlight a couple of these. How long does life insurance companies take to pay? How to permanently delete information from an iPhone remotely? What is a lethal dose of fentanyl? I ask you once again, how you didn't, don't think I didn't notice. You didn't actually answer me last time. How do you defend it?
Yeah.
Let's say they go to trial. How do they defend it?
Well, look, okay, so if they go to trial, they're
Why
going
are
to...
you sweating so much?
Look, I can defend anybody. No, but realistically, it's going to be a matter of trying to keep out as much of the incriminating and damaging evidence on certain grounds and to take that out of the picture so the jury isn't hearing all of this totality. I agree with you, Bernardo. The Lisa Darden aspect probably doesn't come in. And with respect to these new charges, I don't know, as a defense lawyer, I might raise if he was poisoned by the sandwich and he had to do an EpiPen and Benadryl, why is he still accepting food / drink from the woman who he now believes poisoned him?
Not a bad thing. They also, I think, were touting this idea of maybe he got the drugs from Mexico. Remember, I think the way that you defend this, and remember I say this, I think she's going to say, go back to what we heard earlier, she was writing a book, she was an author, she was researching things, had nothing to do with her husband, because that was one of the allegations that came out when she was allegedly trying to influence her brother's testimony. So I think it's this idea of, I'm writing a book, I'm not researching how to murder. I don't know. I don't think it's going to work.